Good morning, everybody. I really need to think of something else to say. I'm always, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. So I need to come up with something else, but good morning. Hello. Happy Sunday. I just wanted to come on really quickly. I just got something in the mail, from Amazon. I just got an Amazon package, and I know, I'm really trying to cut down on my extra purchases, but this was all things that I needed, and you're gonna be like, Belinda, what do you mean you needed this? You'll see. But these are all things that I really, really, really needed. And so I wanted to show it to you because I am overwhelmed. Like, I am so excited on this. I'm trying to be mindful with spending my money, but I have to say that this is something I think is worth the purchase. So what I wanted to show you is this book that I got off of Amazon, the No Fuss Bread Machine Cookbook. If you don't know this about me already, I love my homesteading projects. Anything that has to do with providing for yourself, taking care of yourself and your family, just getting away from just needing other systems and just providing for yourself, cooking for yourself. I'm just all into that. And what I've been doing, for the past really, I've had the machine for a while, but I've only really been using it for maybe the past 2 years, is my bread machine. And I've been using it for some things here and there. I've been using it, I've made bagel dough, obviously bread dough. I've made white bread and wheat bread. I've made coffee cake dough in there, and pizza dough. Oh, and bread rolls. The dough for the bread rolls. And so it's just really easy. Oh, I've also made jam. I've made strawberry jam in there as well, and it came out delicious. So you would think that it came from a health food store. Like, that's how pure it tasted. No preservatives. It was just very, very, very yummy. So I've been using that, and I've been getting a lot of use out of my bread machine lately. But I've just been using the recipes that come with the machine. So I've just been using this book. This book is so beat up. But I'm gonna say well loved, okay? Because every time, I'm always in this. Well, not that section, but I'm always in this. Just, it tells you, not only does it tell you how to use the machine and gives you instructions, but it also has tons and tons and tons of recipes in here. And so, for all of the different modes. So it's very well loved, but it only has a limited number, and I've made everything that I've been interested in making. And so I've just been tired of going online and looking up bread machine recipes, and because it definitely is a different ratio than if you make bread by hand. So, and I love that, you just throw all the ingredients in there, and then the bread machine does all the work. You still have to check on it and everything, but it does all the work for you, and I can do other things. So I decided to invest in a cookbook. Now, I was doing some research, and I am the type of person that will research the heck out of something before I purchase it. That's just me. And so with this cookbook that I was about to purchase, I wanted to make sure it was, gonna be something very, very, very much needed. This cookbook, now I saw this picture online and I read the reviews. The reviews were great, and there was no negative reviews. And usually I'm skeptical about those things, but it was good. All of the reviews were good. So I was like, let me just go ahead and purchase it. It was only $7. First of all, okay, look at how thick this book is. I was not expecting this. It does not have any recipes. None of the reviews posted inside of the book, right? None of the reviews told you how thick this book is or how many pages it has, and just nothing. I was not expecting this size of a book to have this many recipes in it. Each page has its own recipe in here. This is amazing. I just got so excited. In here, here's jalapeno cornbread. First one, I just opened that up. I know tons of people that like jalapeno cornbread. Cheddar cheese basil bread. I'm thinking of those, what is it, the Red Lobster biscuits that everybody likes. By the way, I bought some because I saw that they had some in the freezer section in the grocery store. I bought some of those, mimic knockoff. They're supposed to be the real thing. Those things were disgusting. They were disgusting. Make your own. Make your own. And this book is just filled with so many different recipes. If you're a sourdough maker, there's a whole sourdough section in here. Crusty sourdough bread. Oh my gosh, I have not yet made sourdough. But that one day that will be on my list of things to learn how to make. Whole wheat sourdough bread. Oh my gosh, you guys. There's so many different recipes in here. Oh my gosh, I know I'm gonna make this one. Banana whole wheat bread. You've got to be kidding me. You've got it. You've got to be kidding me. I am so excited about this book. I was not expecting this to be so big. I thought it was just going to be one of those flimsy, kind of, because of the price. Now, mind you, getting back to the price, this book was $7.80. $7.80. I can't. If I can't explain it anymore. If you aren't convinced yet to make your own bread, imagine the organic loaves of bread that you would get from the farmer's market. Those cost $10. Some of them, I think they're costing $12 now for a loaf of bread. That's gonna spoil if you don't eat it in time. But this book was only $7, and at first I didn't get it because I thought it was too cheap. I thought I needed to spend more money on something that was more expensive, thinking that I wasn't going to get any good value. I'm blown away. You can probably see how surprised I am, but I just needed to come on and share this with everybody. I can't gatekeep this. Just doing something wholesome for yourself, having a skill that, that will sustain you. Is really good. And then plus with bread machine, it takes out half of the work for you. Once you purchase your bread machine and you pay, it's going to pay for itself over and over and over again, right? My bread machine has already paid for itself just based on this sheer amount of bread loaves and doughs that I've made, and my dinner rolls that I make for Thanksgiving, because I do the rolls and I usually make the dinner roll recipe that comes from this book. That's the one that I use for Thanksgiving rolls. So it's so easy, it's so economical. You just buy a large bag of flour, and it's gonna pay for itself over and over and over again. So I just wanted to share that, that I haven't, like I said, I just got this from Amazon. I can leave some reviews. Oh my gosh, and I just see something else in here that I didn't even realize. Oh my gosh, this is really cool. So the recipe, I thought that those were the ingredients. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. Okay, I'm just trying to find a recipe. Okay, I didn't even realize. So it has recipes for each of the different sizes. So if you're making it in the machine, my machine has 2 size settings. It has a 1.5 pound size setting. No, excuse me. It has a 1 pound, 1.5, and 2 pounds. So it has 3 size settings. So for this cookbook also has 3 size settings. So you don't have to guess. It takes all of the guesswork out of here. Like literally all you need to do is throw all the ingredients into your bread machine and you've got a loaf of bread. So if it's just a small family like me, for me, it's me and my son. And so there's the 1 pound, it tells you that it makes 8 slices. And then you have the 1.5 pound, it tells you it makes 12 slices. And the 2 pounds, it says it makes 16 slices. Get your little bread slicer, a good bread knife, you are good to go. And it has all of the ingredients. Mainly most bread recipes will have your main basic setting of ingredients. That's going to be your water or your liquids. In some cases, it's a milk. or a buttermilk, but usually, or water. So you're going to have your liquid base. Then you're going to have butter or oil. And then you're going to have your flour. So depending on what kind of bread you're going to be making, you're either going to use all-purpose bread flour, whole wheat flour, rye flour, things like that. And then you're going to have your yeast, and then salt if you like it a little salty. That's just for flavor. The salt is only for the flavor. It's optional. And then even with yeast, you have different types of yeast. You have your instant yeast or you have your rapid rise yeast. I use instant yeast, the active yeast. I don't have it out, but it's put away. But just get you a nice big bag of that and you are good to go. Now, those are the main basic ingredients. Everything else is going to vary. Well, no matter what you want to do. If you want to make honey whole wheat bread, then throw some honey in there. If you want to make wheat bran, then wheat bran bread, then you're going to have some wheat bran cereal. And then I specifically got this recipe book, well, a recipe book, not just this one, but I wanted a recipe book because I wanted some variety in what I was making. I was kind of getting tired of just, like, I just finished making a whole wheat loaf, and mind you, it's delicious. It is delicious. And I have the same recipes over and over and over again. It's just the main basic, which is all it was supposed to do, right? Like, it's just supposed to give you some beginner recipes so that you can get started. But I wanted some variety. I wanted to be able to make something else, kind of increase my skill in bread making. But I knew that I did not have any time nor any interest in learning how to make it by hand. So I went out and I was looking for a bread machine cookbook. And so far, I am not disappointed. I am actually really excited. I think the hardest part for us folks, that are neurodivergent, is just making a decision, making a choice, choosing which recipe that I want to make. That's probably going to be my hardest choice. But yeah, and then even in the beginning, it has this section that teaches you about baking bread in the bread machine. So if you've never done it before, it has this section in here, why we love bread machines. So it kind of talks about what they do. If you're not new to bread machines, you don't need this section. And then it talks about gluten, bread machine techniques. So it talks about the mixing phase, the kneading phase. And then it has a section in here about the ingredients. So again, like I mentioned, you really just need staple ingredients on hand. If all you have is water, flour, and butter or oil and yeast, you've got bread. You've got bread. You don't even need the bread machine. You can make bread just like that. So these are your main staples for what you use. I have probably only used egg in maybe just a handful. None of my bread recipes, but my dough recipes I have. But because I know there's an egg shortage, trust me, I know. I have never used egg in any of my bread recipes. I use them for the dough, but I don't use them for my bread recipes. So don't worry about that. Sugar, again, that's completely up to you. I tend to use white sugar and brown sugar in mine because I love the taste of brown sugar. That's just me. And then, yeah, it even has in here a section about high altitude cooking. So if you live in higher elevations, again, no excuse. No excuse. It even has a section here about storing your bread. I don't even think in this cookbook it talks about storing your bread. And I had to go online and figure out how to store my bread. Because my bread, I would leave it out and then it would get really stale and hard, or it would mold in a couple of days. And so I really had to figure out a system that worked best for me for storing my bread. But this book has a whole section on it. Oh my gosh. So, it even has a section in here about troubleshooting. You guys, this $7. $7. Just for comparison, I have you propped up on here. This bread flour bag costs $7. Okay, this bag of bread flour costs $7. So yeah, I don't know what else. It's a good investment. I think it's a good investment to make in something that is going to nourish you and your family. And like I said, it's also going to give you a skill, but it's also going to give you some of the things back that you don't have to be so dependent on big box stores or grocery stores or, you know, other things, especially when things are getting so expensive. A loaf of bread, you know, I only use at most about 3 to 3.5 cups of flour total. That's between the bread flour and the whole wheat flour. So my loaf of breads cost, what is that? Between $1.50 and $2 for a whole loaf, you know, with all of the other ingredients, because you're just using that much just to make one loaf of bread. It's really not a lot. So $12 or $2. $12 for a loaf of bread, $2 for a loaf of bread. I mean, and you make it at home. The last thing I'll say, because I have to run, go run some errands. But the last thing I'm going to say is that the smell in your house when you are baking bread in my bread machine. So let's set the scene. You breaking your bread. Your bread is baking in the machine. I recommend checking the dough ball every once in a while, but once it's on the baking phase, you're good to go. It's going to bake for 30 minutes. Take a shower. Get out of that shower, come downstairs, the whole downstairs, or your whole kitchen. It's going to smell like fresh baked bread. If you are a person that can't have gluten or certain types of bread, they have gluten-free recipes in this book as well. There's gluten-free flour that you can buy and make perfectly good recipes for. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to share the knowledge. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Sunday. Be blessed and take care until next time.